Right, this might rattle a few cages. You can search the same thing on eBay as someone else's at exactly the same time, put in exactly the same words, and you will get two completely different results. Mad? Not how it used to be. It's not broken, it's not a glitch, it's eBay's new AI system. It's quietly deciding what you see and what you don't see, whether you're selling or shopping. This changes everything. And most people haven't got a clue that it's going on. So stick around because I'm breaking down how this agentic AI works and why your listings, your buyer habits, and your search results are getting filtered by something smarter than Cassini ever was. So straight away, let's back this up. Let's always get with the credible evidence. I have jumped on to my eBay account. As you can see, I'm logged in and I'm going to put in the search term vintage football shirts and click go. And these are the results that you can see that eBay has decided the new AI to present me based upon my personalized shopping experience using that search phrase. So now I'm going to jump into another browser and I'm logged in as my wife or our business account, and I'm going to put in vintage football shirt. Click search, exactly the same phrase, exactly within 30 seconds of each other, or the time it took me to record those videos. And this is what eBay is presenting me based upon the buyer experience personalization from the Agentic AI. So having seen those two results, the examples, did you get the results that you expected? Is this something as a buyer that you are now happy that you are getting a buyer experience that is being generated for you by eBay? Or do you just want the old search back? Leave your comments below. I'd love to read what people think of it so far, how it's bedding in, and what your experiences are. Or are you a seller? And have you, like you're not alone, spent hours looking at this and wondering how what you used to do can now get your items consistently to a broader spectrum of buyers out there? Well, I'm going to say something now that you won't. You're not going to achieve that. But what we need to do, and this is what I've started doing, is making sure that my items are targeted via the AI to buyers who have an intent to buy. And I'm picking on that so that rather than it being me getting to see everyone who's going to see, in this example, my football shirt with regards to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it's great, I only want the people who are interested in buying a Wolverhampton Wanderers football shirt to actually see it. And when they do see it, I want mine to be at the top. I'm not too fussed in the old way that anybody wanting to buy a Premier League football shirt would get to see mine if they support Liverpool. And this is what this is all about. It's how we can actually target and get hold of the buyer intent to make sure that the items that we list as sellers are placed firmly and frontally in between that buyer, and they click and they buy it. So this is probably about as serious as you're ever going to get seeing me on eBay. So I don't have access to eBay's code base, their AI test environment, or any of the internal data. So what I share, it's based upon my observations, my experience of AI and implementing AI in various other scenarios. One major project that I'm implementing at the moment, nothing to do with eBay, elsewhere. So what I share, it's genuinely out of curiosity to understand how this system works. I'm not here to pose as a guru. I'm just another seller who's navigating this on an infinite learning curve. So take what's useful, question everything. Always do that. Question everything. Whatever somebody's telling you on YouTube, if I read it, I question it. So I would question what I tell you as well. Just it's common sense. And remember, if I were an expert or claimed to be an expert, I would probably be sitting on a beach earning 20% and certainly wouldn't be having to. Well, no, I would actually, because I enjoy doing this. So that was just a caveat to throw in. So for when some of the so-called critiquers that are running around YouTube at the moment critique one of my videos, you don't have to slate me because I've already said I'm not a guru. So what does this Agentic AI do? Well, I'm going to break through that, but I've been told I've got to do something now. I'm here or there. My wife says, can I please push these new Chinese figures she's got listed because she wants to sell them quickly. So they're available on eBay right now. But anyway, what it does, and this is going to be key to basically understanding how you can interact with it or what to expect from it. So there's a graphic going to pop up any minute now. And it delivers real-time product recommendations based upon user behavior. So whoever's logged in, when I was logged in, when my wife's logged in, whatever her behavior is, it's monitored it and keep track of it. And based upon that, it offers expert guidance. So it's guiding me to which product I want to match that vintage football shirt that I put in. And it's doing that at various stages, not at the first stage or the second, during my shopping journey. And then it pops up and it will either appear proactively or reactively, depending on where I am in that journey. If I'm hovering over a page or if I've found a listing that I like the look of and I've clicked into it, it's going to pop up at all these weird places. It's going to pop up in there saying, well, if it doesn't think what I've got is right based upon me, it's going to offer alternative solutions. Or it's going to offer, and it's not too good at this at the moment, it's going to offer, if I'm a later stage in that journey, add-ons. A bit like Amazon does now. And what's going to also pop up based upon this Agentic AI is wherever it is, messages that are relevant to the listings are going to pop up in totally spaces to direct me. And this is all to basically give us a better buying experience. Navigating that as a seller is proving to be a challenge to make sure that at each one of those branches, you need to get your product in front of someone. So it's not just like a chatbot. If any of you experienced a chatbot, i.e., please press option 1, press option 2, tell me in your best voice what department you would like. It's more designed to understand, anticipate, and interact. And it's quite scary. It's more like a digital concierge, but without having to pay the minimum wage. How does this work then? Well, let's throw some ideas at it. You've got decades. eBay's been around a long time and has been storing this data probably in hugely not carbon neutral data center somewhere, and it's got loads of buyer data and behavioral patterns that it would have been a food feast for its AI and its learning language module and its test beds to get hold of that data. It's also going to match that with product knowledge and the infrastructure it's already got to match listings with that buyer intent. It's going to have to rely on some form of conversational interface that's going to guide users through. So if you're old school like me, think of the parser or the vocabulary interaction you used to have with an old text adventure based upon the computer trying to learn what you were saying. A lot more sophisticated than that. And I don't know if this is actually active yet, but I do know that I heard a rumour. A friend told a friend down the pub who knew the cleaner of the dog grooming person who washed a pooch from somebody at eBay, that they are using OpenAI's operator agent, which is a great thing. Go and have a look at it if you're into AI, which they were testing early on this year, 2025. I don't know if that's out in the wild yet or if it's still in the test bed. But all those gobbledygook things that I've just said, that's how it works. Unless you're going to decode it or try and work with it or work against it, you don't really need to know that. So you could have just skipped this entire bit that I've just waffled on with. There's not many people going to be watching now, so this is it. Wait for it. The controversies, the seller implications. Here's where it's going to get spicy. And I can probably say what I want here because there's nobody watching now, only me on a proof edit. If my mom was still alive, she'd be watching, of course, because she loved me and would watch all my videos. eBay is now using AI to summarize its item descriptions. And sometimes it summarizes them inaccurately without the seller's consent. Didn't say you could do it, didn't ask my permission, didn't give consent. You've summarized it and you've done it inaccurately and presented it in front of someone. Now, sometimes, and I have done this and got, now the person who said it was item is not as described, because I only did this yesterday, I used eBay's AI to cheat because I couldn't be bothered when I was helping my wife list to write a description about a mid-century EPNS lion-footed butter dish, caviar dish. Well, it was sold straight away within 24 hours, so that's good. And my little friend is here to try and help me. Now, again, we're late in the video, so you get to see the real me now because nobody's actually watching this. And AI got it wrong. It summarized it totally wrong. But she took the photograph, she updated it, and she did the checks. And she says, what are you talking about? You've got everything wrong in this one. And I've had to remove it because that could have got us in trouble. So these summaries are potentially leading to items not as described claims, especially if they take those summaries and not what you see, and they're linked in cross-posted to platforms like Facebook Marketplace, or it's been promoted off-site. Now, sellers don't have any opt-out for these tests, and the supporters reportedly been unhelpful, have had no experience about contacting eBay support, so I cannot give you a real-life scenario on that. There is also, again, widely available, check the internet, that some German regulators are already questioning eBay's AI, its training practices and its user data. So keep an eye out, see how Germany takes on the eBay empire when it comes to rolling out these AI, because obviously you are fully aware that eBay rolls out its various things based upon geographical data and impacts, and probably how strong the government is. So hence why they walk all over the UK, because we just go, yeah, that's fine. And we don't actually question anything of it. It's nothing to do with eBay, because if I was eBay and I'd got a weak government in power that wasn't going to ask any questions, I'd be straight away, I'd put in whatever I wanted. So that is the juicy bit. So anybody who did stick around, there you go. Leave comments on that, or if you've had any experience with that, that would be great. So where does this leave you and me, buyer, seller, whatever? Well, there's a few things I'm going to do. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, hit like and whatever, because my videos are earning me about £1.42. So I'm not getting rich on YouTube. In fact, it doesn't even cover the electricity. And I've got no desire to do that. But what I'm doing next is, and it's because it helps me, because I've got a major project going on at the moment where we're looking at the at artificial intelligence on a customer-centric journey, which will actually get the right information to the right people at the right time in a case of urgency, and also stop them having to go through this hit option 1, hit option 2, hit option 3, hit option 4. Sorry, nobody available. All that absolute nightmare that everybody experiences. Well, I'm working on a major project that's actually going to cut that out. So that's why I'm all into this AI stuff. So what I'm going to do with regards to YouTube and eBay is I'm going to dissect agentic AIs, because we're actually not eBay, but what I'm doing, we're putting in surprisingly, an agentic AI in a customer service environment. And then I'm going to find out where my observations stack up from what eBay does to what I found out about when I've been able to actually tinker about with an AI. As said earlier, can't get access to eBay's AI in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other thing to what I'm going to follow up on is another video. Is I am going to look at, and this is quite interesting, really, is explore the ethical tension between what is personalization and what is seller control. Take, for example, unless anyone's had an experience of this, when I push my trolley into the M&S food hall, I don't actually get one of the people from an M&S come up and grab the front of my trolley and say, as I'm heading towards the bananas, I can only look at one specific type of banana. And this is the option that I have, because I look at it and say, well, this is the most expensive one, or this is the one you're going to earn your best cut on. I want to look at the cheap bananas over there. When does personalisation cross over the line to become seller control? That's going to be quite an interesting one. I'll probably get that video checked by somebody in the legal department before I spout out anything that's going to get me in trouble. And then what I am also going to try and do is run some experiments. I think, I'm not too sure, but I'll have to check. I think some of the older search parameters and searching listings is still in use by some of the older APIs that the developers have got hold of for anybody who does eBay search stuff. So things like pick click, how they're picking it, and these ones that present off site. I think they might be still using some of those. If any of them are, I'll see if I can do some searches through that. If they've got the various front ends that you can do it, and then compare my vintage football shirt search with what used to come up to what AI is doing. And then I'm going to wrap them all up, throw in some videos. So thanks again for everybody that has stayed along to the end, and cheers.